Good morning. I need to tell you something. I'm about to share something personal that I haven't shared publicly before. This presentation is about a significant journey of self discovery. I've practiced as a clinical psychologist for 26 years. I've diagnosed hundreds of people with ADHD and autistic spectrum. I didn't know I had both autism and ADHD until I was 50 years old. The term for this is AuDHD, Autism and ADHD together. This is my story, and it might resonate with you if you've ever felt like you don't quite fit in anywhere. For most of my life, I thought everyone felt the way I did, overwhelmed by noise, exhausted after social events, constantly forgetting things while simultaneously obsessing over details. I thought everyone spent enormous energy trying to appear normal. I built a successful career, got married, had children, and became a respected, I think, psychologist. The whole time I was masking. I just didn't know that was what it was called. I was the organized one who couldn't keep track of her keys, the social one who needed 3 days to recover from a dinner party, the expert on ADHD who couldn't figure out why simple tasks felt impossibly hard. I explained it away. I'm just stressed. I'm just busy. I'm just getting older. I'm just not trying hard enough. At 50, after decades of feeling like I was constantly failing at being human and adulting, I finally diagnosed myself through research. Autism, ADHD, both, AuDHD. The relief was immediate. The grief came later. Relief because suddenly everything made sense. The sensory overwhelm, the executive dysfunction, the social exhaustion, the hyperfocus, the rigid thinking alongside scattered attention. It wasn't a character flaw, it was neurodivergence. Then came the grief. Decades of thinking I was broken when I was just different. Years of pushing myself to fit a mold I was never meant to fit. All that wasted energy on masking instead of understanding, and the anger at a system that missed it, at myself for not seeing it sooner, at everyone who said, "You don't seem autistic," or "Everyone has some ADHD symptoms." Self diagnosing at 50 changed everything and nothing. Everything changed internally. I finally understood why I'm the way I am. I stopped fighting my brain and started working with it. I gave myself permission to need what I need. Nothing changed externally. I'm still a psychologist, still a mother, still me, just with context now. 3 years later, at 53, I'm still unpacking what it means. Here's what I've learned. Late diagnosis is incredibly common, especially in women. We're taught to mask, to people please, to perform normalcy so well that even professionals miss it. AuDHD is its own thing. Not really autism plus ADHD. It's a unique combination with its own challenges. Executive dysfunction meets rigid thinking. Hyperfocus meets scattered attention. Social exhaustion meets sensory overwhelm. You can be a successful professional, a parent, a functional adult, and still have and be AuDHD. High functioning labels are misleading. We're not high functioning, we're actually high masking. I'm sharing this because I know I'm not alone. There are people watching this who feel like they don't quite fit. who are exhausted from trying to be normal, who've been told they can't be autistic because they make eye contact, or can't have ADHD because they got good grades. If that's you, get assessed by someone who understands how autism and ADHD present in adults, especially women, especially people who've spent decades masking. Going forward, Mind Path Academy is changing slightly. I'm still tracking practical mental health tools, but I'm also leaning into my specializations. AuDHD, eating disorders, late diagnosis experiences. Being a psychologist who's also neurodivergent gives me a unique perspective. I understand the clinical research and the lived experience. This week, I'll be sharing more about AuDHD, what it actually looks like, and the tools that can help. Tomorrow, how autism and ADHD affect sleep and why standard sleep advice doesn't work for us. If you're ADHD, late diagnosed, or just suspecting you might be a neurodivergent, subscribe. You're not alone in this. And if you're wondering whether you should get assessed, if you're asking the question, the answer is probably yes. Thanks for letting me share my story. See you tomorrow.